Brakati Howell, Brakati Shai, Brakati Howell, Brakati Shai, Brakati Howell, Brakati Howell, Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Chakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, True Well. Citations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim, to Zadakim, that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. On the Prishaman, this week's topic is going to be entitled, They Will Try to Frame Us. They will try to frame us. And this video is inspired because recently the videos of the Capitol, quote unquote, Capitol riots was released. And the moment it happened, starting with the elders on down at Great Millstone, Salaki starting with the apostles, the elders on down at Great Millstone, we said that whole thing is a psyop, a psychological operation to fuel the minds of the people to navigate in an agenda that those behind the scenes want. And pretty much the footage dropped now that, look, man, that whole shit inside the Capitol building was peaceful. Nobody was really breaking shit, and it was very similar to with the so-called riots that was happening during the Trayvon Martin situation, where they had agent provocateurs, and the news could spin the narrative to make it look like, okay, these people are rioting, but truly it was people from other states coming in, all right, trying to loot and rob, and the people that lived there trying to protect. But that's the shit. When you control the mainstream narrative, all right, you could push out any sort of agenda they want. And another video has surfaced, all right, of they took Tucker Carlson, all right, and they made him talk about a fucking Pokemon. It was his voice, and they deep faked him. They literally had the guy talking about having sex with a Pokemon, but it was his voice and all that. You know what I'm saying? So they could frame you. And if this is the technology they showing on the internet, imagine the type of shit that they have in secret. So we're gonna approach times when I advise brothers, don't trust any phone calls, don't trust no video, don't trust shit, man. Because they're gonna try to do all types of stuff to orchestrate shit, and I'm pretty sure they got agents in every goddamn camp, So, hey, man, these devils are going to try to work, but at the end of the day, you can't do nothing against this truth, only for it. Because even in doing so and getting brothers locked up, that's only going to fulfill Revelations, the second chapter, all right? So, at the end of the day, you can't do shit against the Most High. This is a Most High's program, all right? But I'm, trying to make brothers and sisters out there aware that, look, man, hey, we're gonna approach those times when you're gonna see us on these news and slanders and lies and shit. So don't be dismayed or caught off guard if that happens. They lied on the Lord, how much more his servants? Now, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 22. And it reads, lying lips an abomination to the Lord. And that's all the so-called white man knows to fucking do is just lie, man. He just lies. Tells you that the goddamn earth is spinning and spinning around the sun, and just lie to lie, man. This guy's a goddamn devil, because all he wants to sow in the world is confusion. Telling you that a man could become a woman could become a man. You know, you take slavery out the books, but incorporate LGBTQ in the book. So it's about just turning shit upside down and turn right to left and left to right. Just breed confusion. This is why this is called Babylon, a land of confusion. But they that deal truly are his delight. So the Lord delights in those that deal truly, just, honorable, integrity. Right? These things are what the Most High deals with this society here doesn't. Proverbs 14:5. A faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness will utter lies. See, so you ain't supposed to be going around fucking telling lies left and right. Now, yeah, you could be subtle and shit like that, but in terms of honoring a brother, we're not supposed to be lying to one another, right? And it's not Esau Jacob's brother, but yeah, we did a little finessing for the birthright, but at the end of the day, the so-called white man is lying and getting blood out of it. You see? So Job 15:34 reads, for the congregation of hypocrites, or hypocrites, one that says something and does the next, shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacle of bribery. All right, taking a false purse, taking a purse. They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity. So that's the mischief that they're going to be conceiving. The same, if the so-called white man is willing to set up his own with this so-called blue and red shit, these people are still locked up. The video surfaced, and these people are still locked up. That was a part of that Capitol, quote unquote, riot. And that's another thing. They call it the Capitol riots. They put a whole name on it. You had agent provocateurs with masks on, so you don't know which side is which. Very similar to what they did with the Middle East, quote unquote moderate rebels, because pretty much what you do is this is another psyop. You say Antifa and moderate rebels in Syria are the same shit. You know, you just have agent provocateurs store up, all right, create a false narrative. Now you come with a solution. Order ab chaos. Shit is textbook, man. It says they can. That's how come when you see guys talking about go to gun ranges or, you know, walk around with AK-47s and hold posts with fucking M16s. You gotta watch people like that, man. I'm talking about guys like Sakari and Yohana, man, that are telling us to draw swords and shit. You gotta watch those kind of people, man. Because first of all, we can't come at the so-called white man with guns and weapons, all right? We tell brothers to be law-abiding citizens, pursuant to the book of Romans, the 13th chapter. Don't go out there breaking no laws or walk around with guns trying to antagonize this devil, because his blessing is a sword. So we can't take him down, man. Yahweh Shai has to come and take him down. And if you hear any other Israelite talking about taking this thing to a carnal level, then you mark that individual and beware his ass, man. It says they conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit. See, so their belly, which represents their mind, all they think about is deceit and mischief and how to snap and trip and snare people. You know, they thinking about that now on the prophets, but Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has a hedge and a protection around us, and the Lord is only going to allow what the Lord wants to allow at the end of the day. This is the book of Psalms 7 and 11. The Most High judges the righteous, and the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. Who's the wicked? So-called white man. Why is it every day? Because he's doing wickedness every fucking day, man. The planet Earth is a spirit, and it's crying on to the Lord to get this virus out of me. You know, the so-called white man that's destroying the planet Earth day in, day out. It says, if he turn not, he will whet his sword, whet, W-H-E-T, to sharpen. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and hath conceived mischief and brought forth falsehood. So that's what he does, man. Mischief, falsehood. And like I said, if he's running to this, they put this guy as the mascot. They propped him up on all sorts of social media. I'm talking about the guy you see here with the shit on his head, all right? And put him in all these different riots and stuff, okay? But when you watch this video here on Tucker Carlson, the guy was just walking around. He was just walking around as the police was escorting them, all of them around. Nobody was breaking down shit, but all they need is just a little footage and twist and turn shit, you know? They could twist and turn your words, cut, chop, cut, edit. Just like them scoffers do, how they be scoffing at the apostles and the elders and brothers, how they chop up our words. So-called white man is going to take it to a whole nother level with deep fake voice technology. It's just going to be surreal, all right? But, you know, again, it's not going to catch us off guard because we're not ignorant, pursuant to the book of 2 Corinthians 2 and 11, of the so-called white man devices, man. It says he made a pit and digged it. Right, so he made a pit and digged it, or a snare and trap, and his fallen into the ditch which he made, because eventually the so-called white man, all the snares and traps that he's trying to put upon the elect, you're going to get the ultimate snare and trap, man. Because the Most High says the deceived and the deceiver are his, okay? And he that sitteth in the heaven shall laugh last. So we, Lord willing, of the elect, shall have the last laugh with the Most High's son, Yahweh Shai, man. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate. Yeah, his own fucking head, man. You know, when Yahweh Shai comes back, and the kingdom of heaven is established, all the mischief and bullshit, the rape, robberies, and atrocities that the so-called white man has done and dealt all the riches that he's gotten, ill-gotten gains he's gotten, is going to be fresh in the minds of our people. All right? All the shit that he did in secret, all that's going to come to light, man. Because right now, you got a lot of our people that love this society, love the so-called white man, love how things are being run. All right? Because why? Because they don't have the memory of all the rape, robbery, and murders in multiple different lives this man has committed. And the other nations, they're not going to go off easy either. You see? So the Lord's going to put that fresh in our minds, and we're going to have that rod of iron to bing, bang, boom over their goddamn heads, man. Verse 17, it says, I will praise the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua according to his righteousness, and will sing praises to the name of the Lord the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, as it is written in the book of Ecclesiasticus 17 and 10, the elect shall praise his holy name. See, that's what we fall upon, man. We just fall upon the Lord. You know, we can't read the minds of these devils to know the exact moves and strategy. We just going in the spirit. Okay, we know that they're going to try to frame us because they framed our Lord Yahweh Shah. They lied, slandered on him, got his own people to turn on him. So with the technology the so-called white man got, and we see how he can manipulate the media and release what footage he wants to release and get people locked up. And hey, look what the Tate brothers are going through now. So hey man, that's how come we try our best just to be law-abiding citizens. We go out there, teach the word. All right, if law enforcement come up, hey, agree with your adversary quickly, use wisdom. You see, but again, you have these camps. Who knows, man? Who even knows? A lot of these camps are bought out, or they could just prop up any camp they want to infiltrate Israel. And our people are so fucking naive and stupid, all right, that they go for the glitz and glam. All right, they go for, oh yeah, you know what? You could pop your woman on the Sabbath, or we could have our guns out of the camp. All this fucking wayward madness doctrine, all right? You don't even know the so-called white man is incorporating that shit into Israel. But this how come we don't care about a big, when I say we, I'm talking about the apostles and elders and true men that are following the scriptures all the way. You don't need no large congregation, man. If you follow what Yahweh Shai say, you're gonna be navigated straightly, man. All right? On the right path. Won't get caught up in trying to get Israel into a carnal sort of mindset. All right. Now, this book of Psalms, chapter 5, verse 1, it says, to the chief musician upon Neolith, a psalm of David, give ear to my words, O Yahweh, consider my meditation. Hearken unto the voice of my cry, my king and my power, for unto thee I will pray. My voice shalt thou hear in the morning, O Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, in the morning will I direct my prayer unto thee, and will look up. Yeah, constantly got to be in prayer. In the Hebrew word palau, right? Or constantly praying to the Most High for guidance, sustain us in the truth, all right? Protection from our enemies. Prayer is very, very important. Apostle Recall always stressed that it's very important, brothers, that we continue praying unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. It says, for thou art not a power that hath pleasure in wickedness, right? So the Most High doesn't delight in wickedness. Neither shall evil dwell with thee. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity, right? So the Lord hates people that work iniquity. It says, thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing or falsely, lies. Actually, let's look up that word leasing. And this is now the International Standard Bible Encyclopedia. And this is leasing, all right? It says to devise, to fabricate, hence to lie. See, so this right here, as you can see above, is a lie, man. You manipulate videos to make it look like something that's not really happening for your own agenda. And he's doing that with his own fucking people. So imagine one, Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and those teaching the word. Okay? It says, thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. The Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. And who's the bloody and deceitful man? Esau, man. Nahum 3:1. This land, America, was built upon bloodshed, lies, rapes, and robbery, man. I'm talking about over 1,000 treaties made with the Native Americans, and not one treaty was kept, man. All right? The Trail of Tears. You see how people seem to forget these things, man. Because why? Because they're in a state of comfort. But you got to remember how you got here, how your ancestors got here. You should never forget that. See? All the riches and the wealthiest Edomites, how did they get a lot of their wealth? From 300 years of free labor, man. So let that sink in. The book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 2. It says, the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor, right? So how do they persecute the poor? Right now, one of the number one ways they persecuting the poor is these food deserts. You go in the hood, you're gonna see fucking ramen noodles and Top Pops and Eggo waffles and Hot Pockets, all the cheap shit, and healthier foods. That's in the rich neighborhoods. So they destroy you, and first of all, the things that you eat, okay, and your mindset. All right, having you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you embrace hood culture and y'all can't be in a neighborhood that's quiet. I need my bodega. I need my fucking loud music. You see what I'm saying? So they come up with different ways to keep us in a degenerate state of behavior. If you look at, like, say for example, Judah, the so-called Negroes, In the 50s, before welfare and all that shit, you know, they would struggle, but they would struggle together as a family unit. Now with the introduction of welfare, which they started at first with the Native Americans, that breaks up the family structure. How so? Because once the man is out the house, the man provides more than just income to a family, guidance, leadership. You see? Because if two families are together, the two parents are together, they can't get the food stamps and all that type of shit. So they encourage to break up the family unit, man. The family structure amongst the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans is very fractured. But if you have a family unit, a father, the head of a household, you know, it's less likely that that family will be a degenerate family. So it goes into the food that they attack on the poor, the mentality, all right, the brainwashing, okay, flooding our communities, so-called communities, all right, with gangster rap music that just, you know, and a lot of them record labels that push that gangster rap and sign these artists, guess what? They have contracts with the prison systems. Because 1 year is 35,000 and life is $1,000,000. So it's a racket. You know, it's a racket. And guess what? You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the one being played. It says, let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasted of his heart's desire. Right. And the so-called white man is always talking about what he's going to do 30, 40, 50 years ago, like from now, like he's going to be on top forever. That's why the book of Psalms 49:11 says, the inward thoughts is that their houses shall go on forever. But we know that this place ain't going to go forever. Why? Because Isaiah 55, all right, and 11, the Most High's word doesn't go out void. The Most High tells us that this place is going to be destroyed. Okay? What day and hour, no man knows but Yahweh himself, but it will come to pass. Isaiah 14:24. Surely have I spoken, so shall it come to pass. All right? And concerning the so-called white man thinking about his kingdom is going to go forever, the book of Job tells us, it said, I believe the book of Lamentations actually, that says, who is he that say it cometh to pass if the Most High commanded it not? So the Most High is the one that says ultimately what's going to come to pass, because from the beginning time was written. The scriptures tell you he declared the end from the beginning. So everything is pretty much written in stone. We just playing it out. And we can't go outside of the word of the Most High. It says, for the wicked boasteth of his heart desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in the hearts of these goddamn devils, man. All right? Here it is. They say, you know, America's, the Bible is the law of the land, but they break every single law, statute, and commandment that's in the Bible in America, man. Every single law, statute, and commandments in the scriptures is being broken here in America, but yes, the law of the land. This man's a fucking hypocrite, man. It says the wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Lord. All right? The Most High is not in all his thoughts at all. Okay? Why? Because he wants to be like the Most High. He wants to be the Most High. That's how come they're trying to introduce this microchip to track you everywhere and make sure everything you buy and sell is done via this chip, which will come to pass. Because that is the mark of the beast. If anybody else teaching otherwise, they either sold out or ignorant. Okay? His ways are always grievous. His ways are always grievous, man. This shit is grievous. This kingdom is grievous, man. Everything is backwards, you know? Everything is back. Like my pops, he sent me a video comparing like 50 years ago in America to 50 years now. Some of the things that was mentioned was like back then, 50 years ago, the kids had to seek the respect and authority and honor the parents. Now the parents got to subject themselves to their kids. Everything is flipped around. And that shit is grievous, man. You know? Here it is. You got to send your kid to a school with a dude calling himself a woman now. All right? And if you don't feel comfortable with that, you could probably lose your career. It's sort of discrimination. But let you be into the scriptures and, you know, have a so-called cross around your neck, which we're not telling you to do that, but I'm just using it for a lack of better example. If you have any sort of religious expression of yourself, they could be like, man, I don't feel comfortable with my kids around this guy. But our kids are supposed to be comfortable around transgenders and shit like that. So this is the fuckery of this place, man. It's grievous. It says that judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. Yeah. Let me see real quickly. Salakia. He puffeth at them. Verse 6. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. Exactly. You know, this is why this is gonna be the first nation in history to fight against the Most High himself. This man really thinks that none could take him down. Why? Because he has the technology, he has the most powerful militaries and all that shit really puffed him up. All this advanced weaponry they got in secret. Okay. Verse 7, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud under his tongue and deceit. Let me read again. Psalms 10 and 7. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Right. Cursing and deceit and fraud. Everything is fraudulent. How you got this kingdom. Hell, man, how the hell did the Rothschilds get all their wealth and riches? By lying about who won the war and played both sides. You see? Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. So this whole setting people up, framing people in psychological warfare, it's only a matter of time before it comes to our side, man. And we just have to use the utmost wisdom, discretion, and prayer and faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahshua to overcome it. You know, I can't tell you the exact steps and shit to make. All I can tell you is this: have faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because he's going to speak unto us what the right words to say when these times come and how to deal with these situations. You know, the apostles always give the account when 9/11 happened. They got locked up. You know, they put them in shackles and all that, but the spirit jumped on a so-called so-called Jewish woman, to get them out of it. See, so the Lord is gonna do some miracles for his elect men to deliver us, man, and we gotta have faith on that. All right, so with that, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, that belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.